Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. And today, I will be reading a multi-character exchange by Sunflower Shoto on Tumblr. So let's get into it. Todoroki. Shoto is the king of masking his emotions. So if you're hurt in battle, an onlooker might not be able to tell that he's all that concerned. On the inside, he's in a state of pure panic, begging and praying internally that he will not have to add losing the one he loves to his list of regrets and failures. Despite the worry running in his mind, he keeps it cool on the outside. Whatever villain injured you, he disposes of them as quickly and efficiently as he possibly could. Although there's probably a lot of anger visible in his fighting style, he becomes super aggressive, reckless, and vicious. But none of it shows on his face until he gets super into it. Then the rage really starts to show. He's getting seriously angry, getting super overboard. The flames are out, and he's clearly not trying all that hard not to kill whoever it is that hurts you. Someone probably tells him to chill out, and this boy gives zero shit. Shoto is that combination of emotional repression and extreme passion, where once he's been set up, and the calm stoic facade wears off, reeling him back in is very difficult. Getting him to back off and let the authorities take over takes some convincing on the part of your fellow heroes. If it's a matter of urgency, where I need immediate treatment, he fights like his life depends on it. He doesn't care what happens. If he overexerts himself, if he himself is injured in the process, none of it matters until he knows that you're safe. He's still perfectly efficient, only now, about 100 times more reckless. Once they're at the hospital or in the infirmary, he doesn't leave. Or if he does, he comes back as soon as he's bathed and eaten. He waits patiently outside your hospital room, his face totally blank, aside from the clear distress in his eyes. He taps his foot lightly every now and then, but is actually eerily still, until a nurse walks out of the room, and he stands straight up as soon as he sees her, and just says, "Well," is praying that you've made it, and is beyond relieved to hear that you'll recover, but does not let himself decompress until he's sitting at your bedside, where his shoulders slump, and he takes your hand in his and tells you that he was worried. He has had so much shame and regret in his life. He had already had to handle losing his mother and being an abomination for her, as well as having to deal with his dad and forging his own legacy. The death of someone so precious to him, someone he cherishes so deeply, it would have been absolutely crushing. Shoto's not the type to be quick to make deep attachments, and this incident only serves to remind him just how precious you are, how quickly things could change. The smile he has on his face, when you open your eyes and look at him, and whisper his name, is the purest smile he's had since he was a little kid. Bako Katsuki. Katsuki blames himself as soon as he sees it happen, but he doesn't tell anyone that. He's the best in the business, the future #1 hero. So how? How could he have let something like this happen? He's worried out of his mind, and pissed as hell, absolutely furious. He's screaming profanities at the person that hurts you, and blasting their face down in the process. He's sweating and out of breath by the time he's done, and the others practically have to drag him off the guy. He insists that he's fine every time anyone else asks, but no one misses the way that his eyes are glued to the ambulance as it speeds down the street and towards the hospital. He's completely silent on the way over, staring dead ahead, with an almost scowl on his face. His jaws clenched the whole time, his hands curled into fists, and his shoulders tense. He can't stop replaying it in his head. The image of that bastard standing over you, your blood dripping from his hands. He doesn't realize or remember, but he screamed the second he saw it, out of it completely, with white hot rage. You idiot, he thinks, but he doesn't know if he's talking to you or himself. Once he's at the hospital, waiting to hear whether you'll live or die, he won't even say a word, even when Midori approaches. On occasion, he would usually take to curse the other boy out. Under normal circumstances, he's dead silent. However, he still shoots anyone who tries to speak to him, an absolutely deadly glare. On the outside, he's furious, but internally, he's being totally consumed by guilt and regret. If he had just been less damn incompetent, if he had just lived up to all of his talk, then the two of you would have been even home by now, and he would have been fine. He'd be cracking some shitty annoying joke, and he would tell you to shut up, and he would tell it again, and he would throw something at you, but you'd be fine, and everything would be fine. Instead, he's here, with purple knuckles and blood on his face, stuck in limbo while he waits. The nurse walks out the room, and his eyes are on her, staring in what he doesn't realize is a glare, as she reports the news. His nails stick so hard into his palms that they bleed, and his jaw clenches, as he waits for her to just spit it out. When she reports that she will recover, he stands and walks out, and just paces the building outside, processing the fact that you're going to be okay. He doesn't visit right away, but when he does, he calls an idiot, tells you that you should never, ever be the reckless and stupid again. But also promises that when he's the number one, nothing like this will ever happen again.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I did making it. Anyway, goodbye.